I can assure you, we are going to live it and love it. You might want to say, in a maxed out way tonight, yeah, we're going to talk about what's ahead this weekend for the latest EWA show. We might even have a few surprises. We might even have a surprise of somebody coming that you won't even expect. Oh, this is why we're in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters. And we've got a high authority, you might want to say, that's going to talk about some movers and shakers. We're also going to have an announcement from someone coming onto Sportswire Radio for the first time, who you might have seen in the EWA for the first time since, well, George Bush was president. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. That's going to be a big surprise. We're also going to get into some other things, and who knows whatever else. But I know everybody's been waiting anxiously for this show to start. And since we have a high authority, and I have high authority to give him that introduction, because after all, we are here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, and we're ironically kicking off the NBA season, and we're closing the 18th season of the EWA coming up this weekend, which might be a clue for the kickoff of the 19th season, where, let's just say, some tickets are still available. But in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, and start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 global sports show. A man that has the high authority to lead the EWA. You've seen him for decades, but now he's simply put the high authority. Here begins the high authority is here, my friend. How are we doing?
We're doing fantastic there, Mr. Tom.
That's great to hear. Obviously, you probably had a couple slices from Revolution Pizza, I would hope, rather than a tuna dog.
Actually, he did. I was waiting for you to do your intro there.
Tuna. Well, you had to. I was hoping a Revolution Pizza slice, but I'll ask you, went for the tuna dog. You know, listen, obviously,
I went tuna dog this time, Tom.
Well, I don't blame you. You go enjoy that food. Certainly, we're going to talk plenty. But certainly a lot to look forward to, though, nevertheless, coming up in addition to some tuna dogs that this coming weekend, because we have a show that you might want to say is maxed out.
That's right. We're running a max out this year. This is the EWA event where if the year isn't going that well, we kind of take off the schedule, but that's how you know we're having a good year.
I all the way through the
season.
I mean, it's, you know, I think it's been a good year, at least in Cleveland baseball. The Guardians did come back, win the division. I know the outcome wasn't what we hoped, but still, we did win the division. I mean, obviously, look forward to the Cavaliers are starting the season tomorrow against the Knicks, and the Cavs are right there, could win the championship. So there's a lot to look forward to, and I think a lot of developments here, especially when it comes to Maxed Out, and some of the things that we're going to be looking forward to, I know, is what's ahead with DJ Storm, because I know he's going to be pulling some double duty, I hear.
Well, wouldn't you know, surprise, surprise, somehow the Cleveland Wrecking Crew gets a title shot out of nowhere. So I told you, Tom, they're bluffing. We don't know what's going on. Don't ever believe them.
Well, I mean, to give the devil their due, Mr. Robert Scott was here a few weeks ago on Sportzwire Radio. We were talking about what will show that footage just shortly, and he did declare victory. He, as a matter of fact, guaranteed victory, and he guaranteed that the Cleveland Wrecking Crew would win. Now, we know the match changed a little bit, but he guaranteed victory, and, well, that's what led to DJ Storm getting a championship shot.
And just like my Browns beating the Dolphins, it's like you got to beat who's ahead of you. You can't.
Hey, the Browns are playing a little bit better than expected, and those Cleveland Wrecking Crew, we were joking with them, they should be the Detroit Wrecking Crew, but maybe Robert Scott led to what Cleveland has to look forward to, and DJ Storm, after defeating you, and we know where your career is at the moment, he looks to now continue his momentum and take that eternal championship away from Joe Payne.
Yep. He's got the double duty, and he's got the title shot. I don't know who Robert Scott had to lube up there to get that, but he went behind my back on that one. But hey, you know what? If he went through the official channels, there's nothing I can say. The EWA Board of Trustees, I might be the head of it, but I'm not, the dictator of it. So,
and speaking of Robert Scott, certainly, I guess, knowing or not knowing his audience, coming out there with Pittsburgh Steelers garb, but certainly Wrecking Crew. Yeah, well, he's obviously knowing what he's getting into, but shout out to Patches, by the way, who is doing some big things outside of the EWA as well. That's why we live and love the EWA. But, I did want to go back to something. This is now the closeout of the 18th season. We're getting ready for the 19th season soon. And what does that mean to you to close out another year of the EWA season?
Well, this one means maybe as much as any other year, because this is the full year. Like last year was year 17. And half of year 17 was in 2015. The other half was in 2024.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this means a tremendous amount to me, because there wasn't a 9-year break in between. It was.
Yeah. Well, things happen for reasons,
And, we established the Eternal Tapings as a big part of the EWA scheduling. So.
And what I'm sure you're looking to season 20, because that would be a significant milestone. I know we have a lot to talk about here tonight, and we're going to certainly segue into season 19 later, but season 20, I'm sure you're looking forward to that sooner rather than later.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm always looking forward to a new season. We get to slow down a little bit. I get to rest these achy bones. I get to not have to worry about putting everything together. It slows down. It doesn't stop, but it slows down.
Listen, I don't want to stop, to quote Ozzy, God rest his soul. And it's ironic you're closing the season. The NBA starting the season here. But, you can't be too happy right now that the Wrecking Crew are looking to get back on track. And I know Carlos Jackson is also in action. He's got a shot to wrestle that EWA championship away from the one and only Kenny Ice Collins.
That's right. Kenny, who's been putting up the open contracts. Well, Carlos Jackson accepted the one for Maxed Out. So it's official.
And Carlos Jackson, I'm sure, is getting some pointers, you think, from Mr. Robert Scott. You think that Robert Scott is telling him on how to beat Kenny Ice Collins. And that's where Mr. Robert Scott and his leadership could maybe potentially sway what we're going to see in these outcomes coming up at Maxed Out. We could be starting season 19 with new champions, because of the leadership of Mr. Robert Scott.
Right, the Wrecking Crew's got. Look at we were talking last show. Oh, is the Wrecking Crew going to fall apart? Now look at the Wrecking Crew's got title shots. I'm telling you.
Well, that doesn't make
don't
you
believe the hype with those guys. They know what they're doing, and
that doesn't make you
just
too
like
happy.
a curveball in baseball. You can't always go fastball. Sometimes you gotta.
George Springer crushed one that put the Toronto Blue Jays into the World Series the other day. We're going to put the EWA's information up here shortly. So I guess then with the opportunity that the Wrecking Crew has, maybe it just goes back to a few short months ago when Carlos had the Eternal title, Mr. Robert Scott had the EWA championship, that maybe the Wrecking Crew could be in even a better position. And I guess there's an old adage, and you're going to know this. You're the high authority after all. Sometimes you have to lose the battle to win the war. And maybe last month, the Cleveland Wrecking Crew had to lose some battles to ultimately, it maxed out here, win the war.
And the best analogy I can give it, my boy Dylan Gabriel, he throws a pick six. You know what? Very next play, he's got to forget all about that and go for his next pass. Short memory. You can't. You're always regrouping. You always got a plan for your next move.
Well,
you can't dwell in the past. Believe me.
You know what? The New York Giants should have took that advice on Sunday's game, but we're not going to go there. But obviously, listen. I mean, Mr. Robert Scott's a topic, and I'm sure we'll talk about him. And I understand also coming up, maybe we'll take this off the screen for a minute because I'm sure we'll refer to. We have an announcement coming up for a guest in a little while, but we also have a battle royal. We've talked a little bit about that here in the past, but what can we expect in this battle royal?
Oh, the old Revolution Ruckus Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the biggest names from the EWA, the indie circuit around here in Northeast Ohio, and the underground wrestling scene are going to be in there. 5 different states worth of people. And I'm telling you, people.
5 different states? Did you just say not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5?
Yes.
States?
5 different states worth of talent.
5 different states.
Some of people you are very familiar with. We could go with that.
Familiar? So I won't need to maybe look at my scorecard. Do you think I'll have seen these people before?
You have a good idea about most of them.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, there might be a couple you're like, but you can just read their name template when they come out. You'll be fine. You know most of them. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about that. But so that's exciting then, though. Battle Royal. I always think Battle Royals are so exciting.
The winner of that Battle Royal gets an Eternal title shot. So at the next Eternal taping. So
boy, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. And if you'd like to hit the sub button for the EW, because I see a bunch of people that have arrived, do me a favor and do that, because the EWA is 2 subscribers away from 170. And
yes,
170 is a big milestone. Remember you guys, what were you guys, like 50 at one point or something like that, right, a couple months ago, 40 something. So let's go out there and give them 2 more subs. And you know the drill. You support. Well, I like to give you. If I could give you all my subscribers, I would. But unfortunately, YouTube won't allow me to do that. But so what I can do in the meantime is, if you are here for the first time and you're hearing about the EWA, hit the sub button for them. And we would certainly encourage everyone to tell your friends and their friends. And we are here with the high authority, Hubie Jenkins, here, getting you ready for this coming weekend's season finale. The season finale of season number 18. It is called Maxed Out. And it makes me think Hubie Jenkins and Saved by the Bell when the Max. Everybody used to go to the Max, and we're going to be maxed out. And, yep. And I don't think they serve tuna dogs there. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I have to go back. It was before my time. But nevertheless, we will go back there. Another match I know also, we've got a big tag match here. Also, you might want to talk about for the audience for a few minutes.
Yep, we finally got it. Zach Wright finally found a partner who wasn't scared, who didn't get injured by these guys. So they're going to have their big tag match with Shade and Zook versus Zach Wright and the debuting Big Daddy Cage.
Whoa! A debut!
He showed up at the last event to help Zach, but this is his official in-ring debut.
A debut in the ring, though. That's
right.
That's going to be interesting.
And he is a big local name around here, too. So Zach really found something special in Big Daddy Cage.
Well, I really hope that the ring can, withstand them. Then I would hope.
No, yeah.
With old Big D. I mean, hopefully you don't feed Big Daddy Cage any tuna dogs prior to the show. That's okay. You'll have them anyway. You'll have them and everybody else. But that'll be exciting. And, obviously we saw a little taste of last month with some of that with Joe Zook and Zach Riot. And also I know there's somebody else that is going to be debuting from an outside. But we also have George versus Andrew here. You want to talk about that for a few minutes?
Yeah, I don't know if you caught it, but George Rage Davis, they don't call him the Rage for nothing. He snapped and attacked Zach Riot.
Yep.
And they go back years. Zach Riot was helping training George back when he just first started. And this is years and years ago. And I don't know. He just he just lost it. He's got a short fuse. So
I'm not surprised about. I know a few things about short fuses. I do a news show Wednesday nights, and my co-host is known to throw a short fuse or two. His name's Heshi Tischler. He's very well known in circles in Brooklyn, and he's been on here. So yeah, I'm aware of that. So that's interesting. What are some of the other matches without giving away one or two? Well, there'll be a surprise later on about that. Maybe our audience would be interested in.
Well, we got Andrew Mitchell coming in. He, posted in the local Ohio the Ohio Indie boards.
Yep.
Ohio Indie Facebook pages. Got at me. I was asking, hey, do you have, what you guys are about? And I told him, we're backyard, we're underground. Well, we were backyard. We turned in underground. He was iffy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Showed him a couple of the matches. He was totally interested in showing up. So I'm pretty proud about that because he was living in Florida for the past couple of years doing indies down there.
Okay,
moved back up to Ohio trying to make some more new contacts.
Wow.
So
okay. Wow.
Happened to see that I put out a message board saying, I need some referees. So if you're a ref in the Northeast Ohio and you're hearing this, you can message me at EWA Central. So keep that in mind. But
yes, and I also showed the link for the Patreon page because that is the pretty ring that we have, and we're going to see some of those talents coming up here.
There it is, that nice new side curtain. The missing piece is what it's called.
And that'll certainly be exciting for sure. And also, I want to do it now because I do want to ask you about somebody. But let me take this off the screen in the meantime. And if you are here, hit the sub button for the EWA. I'll get to some people here in the chat. I do want to make an announcement maybe in a few minutes, but let me pull this up because I want to do it now. I want to get it out of the way because we're going to have a couple of people here. I have no doubt tonight that want to talk with you. But Hubie, since you do so much for us here on Sportswire, and we're so grateful to have you here for gracing your presence with us being the pleasure is definitely. We're so grateful to have you here. I wanted to make it another EW day here on Sportswire Radio. It is another EW day here on all Sportswire Radio platforms. So we'll give you this copy and thank you for everything that you're doing for us and giving these talents the opportunity to shine. And we thank you and all you do for us in the EWA.
And, I'm truly blessed. I can't believe how good things have been the past 14 months for me. Like I said before, just setting all this stuff and spent my huge bonus check on the setup, wondering, is anybody am I going to be able to pull this off? And pulling it off with great success. And it just keeps getting better and better. I got an announcement to make later on.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. I always like to, have something new for you. So things are even getting better. So.
Well, that was a great Tesla song, Getting Better. But I have no doubt the best is yet to come for you and the rest of the EWA. And I have somebody here that is in my chat. No, I usually don't do it right away, but she is obviously a big fan. And some people are wondering what has she been doing. And her name is Jade. Her uncle is Soldier GP, who, from the IMF, obviously one half of the tag team champions there. And I know that she wants everybody to see it, but she's now learning how to drive. This reminds
Oh
me.
boy.
Hubie, I said it last night on Sportswire Radio when we had on Godric Sandwell that it reminds me of the 1980s movie License to Drive, which was featuring the Coreys, obviously. Then, God rest his soul, Corey Haim and then Corey Feldman. And it was License to Drive. And the driving instructor in that movie was, well, Uncle Phil of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. God rest his soul. And now she's learning to drive. So now we can all go back and watch that movie, License to Drive, featuring the Corey. I think Heather Graham was in that movie. But yeah, we're going to definitely watch that one day. But congratulations on learning how to drive.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll drive to the EWA one day, or maybe she'll drive to the next IMF show. Who knows? But
No Boundaries 17 tickets only $10.
Well, you know what? That's a great segue. Before I ask you about something, that is a great segue because I actually have something I would like to show the audience, and I would like to get your perspective because I know we've already announced one match for it, and that is Matthew Forsaken and Kenny Ice Collins. Now, it remains to be seen if it will have the EWA Championship on the line, but there is the poster. There it is. And EWA No Boundaries 17 is the official kickoff of season 19. Of course, sponsored by the best pizza around, Revolution Pizza. It's going to be at 2001 Euclid Avenue in beautiful Euclid, Ohio. Zip code 44117. December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. And yeah, definitely come down and support my friends, the EWA. And I'll tell you what, Hubie, because you've been so generous with us here on Sportswire, I'm going to make sure I buy a ticket. We're going to send that to you before December 7th. And we'll let one lucky person show up. That's the least I can do. Trust me. But we're going to promote the show quite a bit, I'm sure. And December 7th, Revolution Pizza. They've got the best pizza. And if you want in between some wings, some salad, ribs, gluten-free products, if you want some soda, pitcher of beer with that, they've got that. And join the revolution because in Ohio, there's one place you can get your one-stop place for pizza, wings, ribs, salads, subs, you name them. Here in New York and Brooklyn, they call them heroes. They call them subs down there. But these guys, Revolution Pizza, they are definitely heroes and a half shell. I can promise you that. And they've got the very best. And if you're looking to watch some NFL games on Sundays, Revolution Pizza's got you covered. You want to go hang out, have a good time with everyone, I would recommend you visit them. But most importantly, Hubie, season 19 kickoff. Live it, love it. What a poster here, boy. I can't wait to see this on the telephone poles if you guys still have them. I can't wait to see these up here and EWA staff hounding everyone in the community and with flyers armed in their hands to get people to buy some tickets,
We've already been doing it virtually. I'm going to work on getting the actual physical copies of them next week, along with tickets. Because Revolution Pizza, nice enough to let me sell tickets out of their 3 main locations across Northeast Ohio. So I want to take a big thanks to Ralph Revolution.
Thank you, Revolution, for all you do for us.
I've pitched tuna dogs to him multiple times. He says he'll get back to me. So
yeah, well, Hubie, you're pushing your luck.
I know. That's why I'm just, you got to pick your battles, but I threw it out there. It's an untapped market, but
I think we could definitely sell some pizzas. Tuna dogs. I love you, Hubie. You're a great friend, but you can keep the tuna dogs. And I think Revolution Pizza would probably agree with me on that. Let's stick to what they know, and they do a pretty damn
with their best at. Yep.
Yes, which is pizza, wings. Listen, pizza and wings, can't go wrong with that. You want to get some ribs. You want to get some subs for the family. You want to go with gluten-free products. Let's stick to that stuff. The tuna dogs, they can keep, unless you want to feed it to the dogs. And we'll get to here in the chat. They want to say hello. I'm going to give them the opportunity before I talk about a couple of people. Mr. Underground OG himself, Mr. Darkrown, wants to say, Hubie, it is so awesome what you've done with the EWA. I'm so happy to be a part of it and its locker room, and I'm going to bring you guys a gift.
Wow. Ooh, all right. I like gifts.
Well,
especially monetary gifts, but I'll take whatever.
Well, how do you know it's monetary? It may not be monetary.
Well, I all joking aside, it's so good to have Mr. Kron around.
I keep telling you that it was a great band, but it's Kron.
He's been such a pleasure to be around and so easy to work with and so helpful. So
Yes, we want to thank my underground OG. I want to say hello to my friend Mr. Castor, who I saw on Instagram, a part of the main event of the TF Crew Day of Atonement, and he would buy some pizza. And he's not too far from you guys in Connecticut, which I have family in the great state of Connecticut, and I have my TF Crew family here as well. So thank you to Castor.
What was it, year 13? We actually had a couple guys who were from Maine.
Really? Okay.
They were staying out here for the summer, but they had a good 14-hour drive. So if you're looking for a little
far. Ohio and Connecticut is far. Yeah, it's not the easiest travel. But if you are here, hit the sub button for the EWA, and also Castor. I got to get Castor back on Sportswire. I think that's what I'm getting the hint of. So I'm going to talk to Castor after we get off the show. Jade is learning how to drive, so License to Drive. Check out the movie. Thank you, Zilla, for being here. Darkon's fired up as he should be. Sean Jovi is here, the resident rock star, of course, the legendary Sean Jovi, of course, the first backyard wrestler I ever had on my platform 3.5 years ago. Thank you, Sean Jovi, for everything. And yes, hello. I don't see Killshot yet, Zilla, but you can say hello to him. That's right, Zilla, the resident rock star. No more our and no more your. Okay, well, I appreciate. I think I've had a change of heart. I'm canceling the war chants. Well, that's not going to happen. But thank you, though, anyway, Sean Jovi. But we're not going to do that.
Yeah, Jovi was dropping some bombs last time I was on here. So I'm gonna
we're not canceling.
Just say hello, and I'm not going to push any buttons.
We're not canceling war chants. If Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad liked them. I mean, as much as I love all of the people here in the chat, he did write the song "We're an American Band," and he played at Woodstock. And and he sold out Shea Stadium quicker than the Beatles. And he liked my chant, but he did say present. Okay, that's good. I appreciate that for the community. Zilla's also had a change of heart in ROBW. That's great. I like that. Okay, who else we have here? Boy, Sean Jovi. I never once cared, Zilla, and telling Jade that adults are talking here. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the familiar details are, but maybe I'm missing something. Also want to say hello to Devin Adams. Well, he'll want to tune in very shortly. But thank you, everybody, and hit the sub button for the EWA. And if you are out there, you're Castor, you're Devin Adams, and you want to get into a ring somewhere else, you have that opportunity by hitting the sub button, contacting the EWA. They're on Facebook as well. I will certainly invite you to the group if you're not in the group already. And we're here with the high authority, Hubie Jenkins, and Jovi First Jade. I don't know if I want to do any booking. Hubie, I'm staying out of the wrestling business. I'm going to stay out of that. You guys can handle all that stuff. I'm going to stay right here, and I appreciate all of you. But Hubie, I do want to talk about one particular individual, and his name is Mr. Robert Scott. Obviously, a man you have plenty of history with, a man that you have been here on this platform with. And, he did guarantee victory. He guaranteed victory.
Yeah, well, he did it, and he came through. I give him credit where credit's due.
But I'm confused about something with Mr. Robert Scott, because there was a guy that was on this platform, and there was someone that, he's definitely been very vocal over the past year or so on the platform, and he wrestled in your company, and his name is Mr. Bang Bang himself, Killshot. Now, Killshot is a part of the roster now, and he's certainly moving up in the world, and he obviously was successful, and I'm going to show his footage here for a minute. He was successful in his match, and I was curious.
Our newest member of the Eternal Academy, the little training center that we're running here.
Good. But so he was successful in his match. And so what did you think about that? And this is why I want to ask you about Mr. Robert Scott. And what did you make of this rather interesting segment we're about to see between Mr. Killshot and Mr. Robert Scott?
Well, we'll start off with Killshot here. I'm really impressed with the kid. Every time we have a training, he wants to be there. He listens. He doesn't complain. You can just tell he truly feels appreciated being in the EWA Eternal Academy. So, and we're happy to have him. Now with Mr. Robert Scott here, should we call him Mr. Bully Scott, because him and Carlos and DJ, the EWA bullies themselves, they got found somebody else to pick on. Surprise, surprise.
Well, I mean, have you heard of the expression of Freshman Friday? You ever hear the expression Freshman Friday?
Yeah, but we try to stay away from that in EWA. Well, most of us try to stay away from stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of pleasing, or I'm not a big fan on.
Listen, if anybody knows yours truly, I am adamantly against that, because I do come from I would call it still the friendly confines of Brooklyn, New York. And if there's anybody knows that anybody who has fought against those things more outside the ring and outside this platform is yours truly. But that's not the point. The point is that Killshot's making his way around, and the Cleveland Wrecking Crew maybe wanted to make their presence felt in one Mr. Robert Scott.
Yeah, I think just Philly Kills here. He got a little excited too, and then he got caught up in the moment and said, "I'll take on all the crew." I didn't mean any harm by it. Did
he though? I mean, maybe there's a point that the veteran Robert Scott wanted to maybe remind Mr. Killshot, Mr. Bang Bang, that maybe he should have just walked out of the ring, took his victory, and moved on. Because
a dog eat dog world out there.
Don't you think that this is a little too much after the match? The match is over.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a little bit.
He just would have got out.
And that's
I do
why
agree with you. Maybe if he just would have got out, he could have avoided the.
And then there's Killshot pushing back the two-time EWA heavyweight champion, the 23-year veteran. I mean, Mr. Robert Scott is fair game at that point, don't you think?
I just wish he would have mollywopped that guy.
Well, you know what? That's too bad. But I mean, so what do you think about what Mr. Robert Scott did here? And is there anything you want to say to your arch nemesis, Mr. Robert Scott, about this segment and more?
Well, just the typical Cleveland Wrecking Crew. Look at we got a new guy we could pick on. Somebody new to push around. Let's show them who run things around here. Cleveland Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
So I don't condone it, but
maybe that Mr. Robert Scott was stepping in after what Killshot was doing. He didn't need to do any of that.
Well, it's not really his battle to be stepping in on.
No, but I mean, from afar, maybe Mr. Robert Scott, the veteran, still had a little bit of a heart. And
quit sticking up for Mr. Robert Scott.
No, he may be from my state. He may be a fellow New Yorker, but objectively speaking, objectively speaking, isn't that a bit much what Killshot was doing, Mr. Bang Bang?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have tagged, but I just think he's just so excited. He's finally out of there,
a piece of nacho
finally
cheese.
Made a big step out of the promo wrestling into the underground wrestling world, and I think he just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actions before thinking. I think he just gets so excited.
He's so excited. My dad used to always tell me, and he would say it in his stern voice, actions speak louder than words. And he would sell it to me, even though he's no longer with us. I still hear it in my head to this day. Still hear it. So maybe that's what Mr. Robert Scott, the veteran, was trying to tell Mr. Killshot, but apparently I have received word that there's somebody here that would like to talk to you about some of those comments you just made, and maybe try to balance out some of the favoritism you may have had, particularly.
Why are you doing this to me, Reverend Tom? It's never any of my best friends. It's never any of my, it's always somebody who's a pain in my where. So whoever you found, bring them out.
We don't know who this is yet, though. We don't know.
I know you like the ratings, so you like to bring out my arch nemesis. So
I mean, look, ratings are. Listen, we have had on many names, and we thank the EWA for everything you've done, because I truly say it all the time. we wouldn't get the heavy hitters in the rock and roll world if it wasn't for the EWA, because they see them all. They do. Listen, we have the lovely Lorraine Lewis tomorrow, who's, if I show the picture, good thing you went on a date just before. But nevertheless, let me bring this person on because they obviously want to have a chat with you. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest. Wait a minute! It's Mr. Robert Scott. I thought this was somebody else.
Of course it is.
I thought this was going to be. I thought somebody else was going to be. I thought Joe Payne.
Yeah, I was hoping somebody else was going to be on it.
I thought Zach Wright.
Well, it's good to see you too, Hubie.
Robert Scott.
How we doing, Bob? Long time no see.
Long time no see, huh?
Yeah.
I heard you yapping about me. You want to know why I went after Killshot? While you were busy doing your high authority things, which I congratulate you on.
Yes,
thank you for being on the up and up on that stuff. I'll give you a little credit, little bit. But while you were doing your high authority thing, that little punk came into the locker room, okay? And he goes, I'm putting everyone on notice. And then he goes, old man, especially you. I'm putting you on notice.
Did he call you old man?
Yes, he did.
He called you old man. Ooh.
Yeah. So while you want to stick up for your little buddy, this wasn't Cleveland Wrecking Crew business. This was Robert Scott business. You don't come in my locker room and start picking who you want to go after. That doesn't happen on my watch.
So, Mr. Robert Scott, let me ask you a question. Do you then consider Killshot a part of the EWA roster? Because it sounds to me like you said he shouldn't show up in the locker room. So, do you consider Mr. Killshot a part of the EWA family? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I consider him a part of the family, but you don't run your mouth the first time you enter the locker room.
Well, he was quiet. He was victorious.
You keep that mouth shut and keep your ears open.
So do you think that he should have came to you maybe for advice? Maybe he should have came to you to say, you know what? Maybe I could carry your bags out, kind of like the protocol. No, that he should.
No, he just should have came in and just been quiet and not said a word.
So you think maybe
he put himself on notice for me?
Oh, so this was something that you felt had to be done.
Yes.
And you didn't agree with what Mr. Killshot did to El Nacho Cheese afterwards.
No, see, I have a lot of respect for Nacho Cheese because he's in there every time and he's giving us 110% every time. I got a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
More respect than I have for that little punk. And down the line, Hubie, you better sign it. I want him.
Wait. No. That would be brutal. No. I would say that maybe in a promo match, it would be a little bit more even, but I don't know, Mr. Hubie, that might be something you want to, reconsider if that's something Mr. Robert Scott wants, because I don't know if Killshot's ready for that yet. I mean,
didn't really want to, spill the beans here, but
before you do
Killshot said the exact same thing to me about Robert Scott. So,
wow,
you do that, Hubie, before you do or say whatever you want. Now, Mr. Robert Scott, if you had anything out there to say to Killshot, anything you might want to say in particular to him, what would that be? Because I'm sure he's out there somewhere. I'm sure he's probably getting ready for another promo. He's a part of a number of companies, OPW, CPFO, Warzone, yada. Would there be anything you'd want to say to him, maybe?
One thing you need to realize, youngster, I'm unpredictable. Put it this way. My heroes growing up were Dirty Dick Slater, Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch, and my all-time favorite, Terry Funk.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. Yeah. God rest his soul and the Funkster. And those are some of the greatest names that have ever stepped foot in our sport. So I guess then Killshot should really maybe think about what he said here. But apparently, Mr. Robert Scott, I have received word that somebody here would like to talk to you about what you did to them.
All right, good. Yeah, give it back to him.
And that person would obviously like to address you and say a few words, and I'm going to give them that opportunity if they would like. And apparently, I have received word for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. And wait a minute, is that who I think it is?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, one sec.
It's Killshot.
Yeah, there he is, my boy.
Yo. Boss, how you doing? High Authority. Good seeing you. Now, Robert, I heard through
That's Mr. Scott to you, punk.
I heard through
You haven't earned the right to call me Robert.
Like how I am with him, so.
I didn't earn that.
Not yet.
That little hit you hit me with, that
was a warning shot.
That's cute. Aim for the head next time. Because what that was your worst mistake of your career.
Really?
I don't give
long
a
career,
damn
too.
what you say about me, but you keep the high authority out your fucking mouth. I don't care what you say about me, but when it comes to him, you keep him out of it. You want a business with me? You got a business with me. You got something you want to do in New York versus Cleveland, right? And you say I called you an old timer. Let me put it in his words, Lee. Now, Tom, you grab the button for me, just in this case.
Yeah, we got that. We got the
old timer, huh? No, let's put it this simple. You will fuck. You ain't no old timer in my eyes because you want to pull that little saying, right? Let me hit a saying I used to hit, like Tash used to say. Survive if I let you.
Wow. That's big talk for a little man.
Now, Killshot, this is a 2-time world heavyweight champion, a 23-year veteran in our sport. I mean, what do you think about that?
Oh, scary. I'm so scared. A veteran. I faced veterans all my life. I was told that I wouldn't have done most of this. I wouldn't have came out the promoing scene, became a freaking first ever man to win his debut match. Debut! Against the man that I'm going to say this. Nacho, I give you my respect. You a man I give that respect to. I did what I did because at that point, it's just who I am. I'm the man that caused problems and love the chaos. So, Robert, I'm going to say this, old buddy.
Mm-hmm.
You want a match with me? You got it.
Whoa! Killshot, you sure? I know you're the newest member of the EWA Eternal Academy, but is that something that you're ready for?
Like the saying says, like prison, attack the biggest man on the yard.
But let me ask you a question, though, Killshot, because Mr. Robert Scott did make a point that was this necessary, what you're doing here right now to El Nacho Cheese? Why were you doing this here? And some could argue that Mr. Robert Scott was breaking up a heinous attack here. And what we're seeing here, the match was over already. What was the point of what you were doing here?
What's the point, you ask?
Yeah.
Simply, I see the man down, already bruising, and I said, why not? He's down. Let me feast like I always do. That's how the Wolves run, don't they, Tom?
No, you've certainly been a part of some wolves. You've been a part of some groups, some cults.
Like we always do. We're going to feed to the day I die.
But Mr. Robert Scott has been up and down this sport. He has been in locker rooms with some of the greatest who have ever done it. He's going to look at you right now and just go, yawn, and he's not going to take you seriously. What do you say toward that?
You can look at me all you want. You can look me down, put me down. You can make me look like I'm just a wannabe joke. I've dealt with it my entire life. You wouldn't be the first one and you won't be the last to look down at me. But no, when you looking at me, you ain't looking through me. You looking at a man that is not afraid to fight to the last breath of my body. No, I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of what it costs me to do what I do best. Because ever since I joined the EWA, I said it was a target everybody's head. Now, I didn't say that as a bad thing. I just said it because It's true. But you wanted to go a little bit outside of your target. You want to step your foot out of that little square box I put you in. You want to make this personal. Then it's personal.
Well, listen, I can certainly see that, and we have also received word we have a surprise here in 10 minutes, in about 10 minutes time, completely separate from you guys, which we're going to certainly get to. But Mr. Robert Scott, I have something else I want to bring to your attention, and I'm going to announce it here, because obviously it's one thing what you said about kill shot. That's one thing, and obviously some people might look at this and they have an opinion, but apparently there's a gentleman Friday night, actually Saturday night here, there's a gentleman that wants to come on here before this weekend's EWA Maxed Out show and talk about you and talk about some of the actions of your Cleveland Wrecking Crew. And if I could announce that here Saturday night in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on all Sportswire radio platforms, none other than the badass Bert Huffman comes to Sportswire radio to address you and the Cleveland Wrecking Crew. And I'm curious, Mr. Robert Scott, what's your thoughts on what happened with yourself and the badass Bert Huffman?
That's what I'm curious about.
Why don't you just shut up for a few minutes and let me talk? You ran your mouth long enough. Well, I think we got kind of snookered there with that referee, I guess, because unbeknownst to me, there was a referee change that day. It was supposed to be Benny Bones, and out comes this legend, if you will, of EWA.
One of the greatest who have ever done it, and certainly
former heavyweight champion.
Absolutely. A legend, and still in phenomenal shape, by the way, in outstanding shape. And this is a man that, he's still got it. He's just like the other badass. He and that badass, but he obviously didn't like how your Cleveland Wrecking Crew is handling things here, and he's going to talk about that Saturday night on Sportswire.
Yeah, and I guess it's funny how, referees can put their hands on people and not get any retribution. That'd be like, a baseball umpire slugging Tommy Lasorda. You can't do that. But if this is the way he wants to play, that's fine. We can play this way. He puts on his tights, gets in the ring.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
But the badass Bert Huffman isn't your usual umpire, your usual referee.
No, he's not. I get that.
He's not. This is a man that he takes no bull. You could push around kill shot if you want, and it'll be one thing. But Mr. Badass Bert Huffman, he pushes back. He is a legend in this sport.
And see, I didn't put my hands on him. He put his hands on me first.
Because you guys were certainly doing so much, and that's why DJ Storm is going to find out just who badass Bert Huffman is. He's going to find out, and you walked away. But your Cleveland Wrecking Crew really, just like how Killshot went too far, your Cleveland Wrecking Crew went too far.
Oh, well.
Just not a big deal.
Well, no. I guess that's the way it's going to go. And when I get kill shot in the ring, there's going to be a little extracurricular activities going on. Believe it.
But now the badass Bert Huffman, he might have his own extracurricular activities for DJ Storm, and this could significantly impair his chances to win the EWA Eternal Championship for your group to regain back. So this could be something that there's bigger stakes here. Look at the badass Bert Huffman there. Hit the sub button for the EWA while you're at it here. But, the badass Bert Huffman is going to show the world why he is going to, in-pair DJ Storm and have his own storm to deal with before his shot at the one and only Joe Payne for the Eternal Championship. And that must certainly impact you. I mean, you're going to be dealing with a war machine. You have a KISS shirt there, and God rest Ace Frehley's soul, a fellow New Yorker from the Bronx, but you're going to be dealing with a war machine coming up here, and it's not going to be like Detroit Rock City. It's going to be like Cleveland Rock City, and you guys are just a stone throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the badass Bert Huffman is a Hall of Famer like in his own right, and this is why this could significantly impair your Cleveland Wrecking Crew.
Well, here we go with another guarantee.
Well, you were certainly very successful in the last one, so you want to
DJ
go
Storm will beat the badass.
Well, you want to repeat that here? Because I'm going to make sure the badass Bert Huffman hears this for Saturday night. You want to repeat that again?
I guarantee DJ will beat the badass.
Now, you want to go 3 for 3 and talk about the DJ Storm's chances maybe against Joe Payne for the Eternal Championship, or not feeling too frisky there, huh?
Oh, you know what? That one's easier.
Whoa, what do you mean that one's easier?
Because there's what's called a contingency plan. We will get that EWA Eternal title. I guarantee it.
Well, I want to recap it because we do have another surprise I got to get to here before we close the show, and that person's way is going to be it's going to blow the roof off here. Let's just put it that way. And what I will say is, Robert Scott, you also know this person, but I want to recap for the audience. Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on all Sportswire radio platforms, the badass Bert Huffman returns to the EWA 24 hours after he's here, but he makes his debut on Sportswire radio and talks about you, your Cleveland Wrecking Crew, and especially DJ Storm. So I want to recap that, but I want to give maybe both you guys the opportunity. Do you have any final words for each other? Because Killshot, you definitely are always ready to pull that trigger, but this is Mr. Robert Scott still. So do you guys have anything you want to say to each other before we get to the next surprise?
I'll let the wise old man speak first.
But he's not old. Are you sure he's old?
Look at him.
If I'm old, he's old.
Well, we don't
Sorry,
know.
Bob.
It's Robert, though.
Well, let the veteran speak first. Let's put it that way.
Oh, should I be happy that you're letting me speak? Just put it this way. I have nothing more to say outside the ring. Inside that ring, I'll have plenty to say.
Ooh, that is, I'll tell you what, wise words from a veteran. I'll tell you what. That's why you're a 2-time heavyweight champion, 23 years.
And that's if you make it into the ring. I have a knack for attacking people outside the arena, and then they show up with an injured shoulder or a hurting leg. We'll see if you're at 100% when you step in that ring.
Rice Collins, I'll tell you what.
Here we go with this little empty threats. Oh, I'm going to attack you out of the freaking arena. Oh, I'm so scared. You call yourself a 2-time EWA heavyweight champion, correct?
Yep.
And that's funny how you call yourself a 2-time, but you haven't held it that long. You even call yourself really the longest reigning 2-time, because unlike you, I can hold a championship and hold it longer than you, but that's not low feet. Let me put this simple. You said it's going to end in the ring. All right. But I'm going to make it a little better for you. You said you're going to attack me out the ring. How about anywhere?
Anywhere? What do you mean?
Anything. Goals.
Oh, so you want a street fight? No rules? No disqualification? No nothing?
We both from the streets, ain't we? Why don't we take it to the streets?
But this is Mr. Robert Scott. This isn't someone else. This is Mr. Robert. You sure you want to do that? I mean, Hubie, are you able to sign off on that? And is the EWA brain trust and management, is that something that they would want? I know you had something you wanted to say before these men leave, but what is your thoughts on that?
I'd have to get to the EWA legal department on that one. I'm not exactly sure.
That's a big hurdle there. Legally, you guys might have to pass. I don't know if that's feasible, but in an EWA ring coming up, I mean,
I'll make it easier for you. Hubie, you make the match, I'll sign the contract. We doing.
Ooh. Killshot will sign that contract. He'll sign it to wrestle the 2-time EWA heavyweight champion and the brain trust of the Cleveland Wrecking Crew, the legendary Mr. Robert Scott, 23-year veteran in our sport, a man that has shared locker rooms with some of the greatest who have ever done it. And I guess we'll have to find out. We'll have to find out.
So you want to throw the rule book right out the window?
I don't live the rules, sweetheart. That's not what I do.
Well, I know how to break them, and I know how to break bones.
And listen, we certainly have to find that out. But fellas, I guess the only thing I could say in honor of this segment is
horns up.
Well, fellas, we'll have to find out, and we'll certainly see you with Mr. Robert Scott. I know you'll be tuning in very anxiously to hear from the badass Bert Huffman Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sure you will be taking a break of playing Beth and taking a break of playing
pickleball.
I thought it was funny throwing Beth. I thought that was funny, but you'll take a break of playing Beth and tears. Hopefully tears won't be falling when Mr. Badass Bert Huffman, another Kiss reference there. Tears are falling, and hopefully, you won't be looking it up either when he comes on. But I'm sure that.
Well, put it this way: I'm not for the innocent.
Well, definitely, we are going to shout it out loud that the badass Bert Huffman is here, and
when him and I face. Heaven's gonna be on fire.
That
one thing, heaven might be on fire, but infamy lasts forever.
Well, I mean, listen, God definitely gave us the EWA. God gave us the EWA, but that was my little cue in there. But all right, fellas, thank you so much. We will see you. I'm sure we'll talk a lot about you guys Saturday, especially you, Mr. Robert Scott, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
All right, that is Killshot and Mr. Robert Scott, the leader of the Cleveland Wrecking Crew. But Hubie, we have one more surprise, and this is going to be an interesting one because we don't know who this is. This is somebody that has not appeared. What's that?
I'm watching you, Tom. Don't do it to me again. If it's the Cleveland Wrecking Crew, I'm out. I'm gone.
No. That's okay. Where I'm going to cut you off. That I just had them on. I just had Robert Scott on. I can't.
Well, there's a couple more of that I'm sure want to.
No,
Jammer on. Okay. Sorry. I rebuttal.
I will actually go like this on here. That there is no more Cleveland Wrecking Crew members coming on here, but it's somebody that has not been on in the context of your segment here. So let me bring them on because this is actually with high authority from management. For those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. Wait a minute, I know this guy. He's from my state, and he was once unwanted, but is now wanted in the EWA. It's the big dog, Torrance Banks. Torrance Banks.
Tommy, what's up, brother?
How
you doing? How you been?
I'm great, Hubie. Torrance Banks, EWA. What? Can you explain?
Hubie, would you like to explain?
I'm telling you, no joking, no BSing. Yeah, I've had people every other day hitting me up about the EWA and the big indie shows we're about to put on, and if they could get back in it, if they can make their debut. I'm picking and choosing, and I found a really good one to pick for the EWA spot against Brandon Steele here at Maxed Out.
Whoa!
And that's Mr. Banks.
Well, this is a guy I definitely would want to see in the EWA. This is a guy that's got quite a resume. He has traveled. He has been a part of some of the biggest companies around. And well, you picked a one that we're going to say live it and love it here at Maxed Out.
Okay, fair enough. Do that.
Man.
Well, it's great to see you in the EWA, and I mean, exciting to see you debut in this company. And I mean, what can we expect ahead here? I mean, this is a big match for you, one of the bigger matches you've had in an illustrious career.
What you could expect from me is, I wouldn't say what you could expect from the last segment of Total Anarchy, but you can expect everything from me. Like, you can expect me just being me, bringing everything that I've learned over the last 15 years or so to the EWA.
This is a
Basically,
man, XTCW, home. We've seen him in other places, NEW. This is a man that has traveled. This is a man that has won championships. This is definitely the big dog of this circuit. This is one of the guys, when you think about some of the people that he's traveled with, the successes that they've had. A guy, Shockey, just go look him up. He's on Instagram. He gets hundreds of thousands of views on his reels. Then Mickey Vargas. I mean, just this guy's been there side by side with Masada. I mean, this is a guy who he's traveled with in his group. I mean, this guy comes from the 716. And Robert Scott just asked him. He knows Torrance Banks. He just shared a locker room with him. This is a man that has a resume. One of the well, you know what? If I showed the footage of the Rumble that Robert Scott had appeared in, you would actually probably thank me, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to do that. But this is a man that has one of the very best resumes around, let alone from the Empire State.
Mm-hmm. And Hubie, I will see you, and I will see you this Sunday at the EWA. And Tom,
I can't wait.
Tom, it's about to be a fun time. Hubie, you're gonna find out. You and your fans are gonna find out why they call me the big dog. Trust me.
I guess then what we're gonna find out is after this, we see this, then we'll have to have Mr. Banks on to talk about this, and Mr. Banks to talk about him being in the EWA, and now he's wanted here. He's wanted, and what a way, before Mr. Banks goes, Hubie, think about this, right? You're going to close out season 18, but now have one of the bigger signings around, and the big dog Torrance Banks to kick off the season 19, and you're closing and starting with a big dog, a man, like I said, the people he has traveled with are right now doing things in the entire wrestling world that people are talking about. And you've got him here in the EWA. You've got him right here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage. You got him.
Oh, yeah, I'm thrilled. Another big name to add to the collection.
Well,
EWA locker room is second to none, and it just keeps getting better.
I mean, Devin Adams even is interested. I just saw a Kill Shot segment, and Devin Adams, another man that has gold and has traveled, and who knows? He's in Pennsylvania, and he hears it, and maybe we'll have to send that information. And Darkron wants to say, big get here, Hubie. Absolutely. Welcome to the EWA. Darkron and Torrance Banks sharing a locker room. Yes, it's happening from the UK, which I think it's a little far for Daniel Banner, but it is. He's saying hello. Ooh. He's up at 3:44 a.m. Yeah, I think it's a little far for him. But Darkron wants to say Killshot has got some talent. Devin Adams is here. He is here. And Devin Adams definitely heard what Killshot had to say, but also just saw the one and only Torrance Banks. And I know you're a busy man, Torrance, obviously getting ready for a lot. And I want to thank you for your time. And we're going to talk with you after Maxed Out. And I can't wait to see you go out there in the ring. And I guess before we let you go, I mean, anything else you want to say for the U.S.? Well, I put your Instagram up so people can maybe follow you and, see what's more is out there from you. And I'm excited. I'll tell you what, I had no idea this was happening, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. EWA, all I have to say is get ready, man. Get ready, because Big Dog's coming on Sunday, and trust me, it's going to be a fun show. It is going to be a fun time.
Absolutely. Absolutely it is.
Big blowout at the end of the year.
Well, we're going out with style. We're going out with a bang, and Torrance is on Instagram. If you're hearing him for the first time, you can also go check him out and check out some of his brothers, and you want to book them, you can do that through there, and you can see some of his footage in some other companies. Obviously, shout out to our friends at home. Obviously, we're keeping them here close to the heart. And Torrance Banks will be here right afterwards to talk about some of this footage. And my buddy Barry Gutman of the New Yorker. Barry, where have you been, Barry? I hope you're alive, and talk to me afterwards. And speaking of other people that want to say it, the EWA isn't ready. Hubie, I hope you're ready
Brother
for what Torrance
Vargas
Banks has to offer. I hope, Hubie, you're ready for what Torrance Banks has in store.
Well,
really hope so.
Ready or not, it's coming.
Brother Vargas. Brother Vargas.
No, we'll have to find out there. But Torrance, we will let you run. And if you are here also, yes, a big get, by the way. It is a big get and a huge signing for you. And also, Daniel Banner wants to say you are on the level of Roman Reigns coming into the EWA. Very impressive words there.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Like I said, that's
what. Big signing, and if you're here right now, you know what? Well, Torrance Banks, I'm going to keep him on for a couple weeks because actually people are they want to talk to him for a minute, and I'll do that because, well, I got the higher authority to actually.
Stage is all yours. It gives me a chance to finish off my tuna dog.
Well, finish your tuna dog off.
I have one for you too, Torrance, when you come on Sunday.
Well, I'll let Torrance have that, but it is the EWA's YouTube link. If you're hearing for him for the first time, you can hit the sub button for them. And Zilla's even saying she's opened up to the truth. And yeah, that's the truth, to hit the sub button for the EWA because the newest member of the roster is the big dog Torrance Banks. Torrance Banks is here, and he's now Daniel Dupree, not related to Renee. And hello. And yeah, a very exciting footage. And it is EW Day here. And also Zilla wants to say Robert Scott is her favorite wrestler of all time because he's awesome. Amazing.
Don't do that. Don't. Zilla, bad idea. What? Don't do that.
I would say, Zilla, that you might want to change your opinion. You might want to change your opinion because Torrance Banks in the EWA is going to change a lot of people's opinions, and he is motivated. He is fired up, and who knows if he brings. Remember, Torrance Banks, ladies, just for this audience, because I see Hubie's eating his tuna, and I can finish this for him. I'm in the radio world, in real life. He doesn't come alone. He does not come alone. This man has friends, and it's not just Torrance Banks you could be looking at. You could be looking at, who knows? He's got a lot of friends out there. He's got a lot of friends, and I'm just saying.
You never know who I could bring, Hubie.
And they might be
never know who I could bring. I could bring a Dark Assassin. I could bring. Who knows who I could bring? I could bring a guy who calls himself Bulletproof. I could bring a guy who's the king of this shit. I could bring whoever. I could bring friends who the EWA hasn't seen yet. I could bring. God, I have friends all over the place. Who knows who I could bring? The fans are just going to have to tune in and find out what I have in my mind of plans.
You know what? Listen,
trust me. First things first. It's like first things first, the match on Sunday. Then plans. Who knows what could happen?
Well, you know what? I tell you what.
I do have. I have a list of people who I want to face in the EWA, and one of the guys from that last segment before I showed up, is on that list, and it's not Kill Shot.
No, okay. Oh
my gosh, I was passed out. I thought it was Kill Shot.
It's not Kill Shot. You know what? It's not Kill Shot, right? Just want to make sure. So,
not me, is it?
No,
it's not Kill Shot.
Wait a minute.
No.
He just showed up.
Really, Torrance?
Yeah.
Him. The big dog?
Oh, you guys know each other. Wait. What?
Yeah, you know what?
We know each other.
We know each other. And I got a lot of respect for you. Who knows? Maybe down the line, maybe there'll be a dog collar in our future.
Dog collar?
Mr. Scott?
Dog collar match.
Scott, all I'm going to say is this. You want a dog collar with me? Go watch and see what I did to Big Chungus. And then think about it.
He was
and
there.
Then regret it.
He was there.
But I will say this. Rob Scott, I respect you, but I don't respect what you did to Killshot. So I'm going to give you this one warning and one warning only. Stay out of my business or the unwanted will come and get you.
Oh,
you understand me?
Your Wrecking Crew's no match for those guys. No match. No match. No mas. No mas.
Well, I guess you know what, Torrance? I know you have ideas. I have ideas. But for right now, I'm just going to keep it civil between us and just say,
okay,
you go your way, I go my way.
Hey, we can share a locker room, but I'm telling you right now, you better tell your boy Carlos especially, he's not the only powerhouse now in the EWA because I'm here now.
Ooh.
You understand?
Okay, I got you.
Maybe one day, me and him might have to see each other in the ring and find out who the better big man wrestler is.
You know what? This is why we're so excited for this coming weekend. I want to repeat one more time before we sign off. And Mickey Vargas is even saying he may catch a flight. And let's just say, ladies and gentlemen, that would definitely be a wanted moment. I want to put that out there. The legendary Mickey Vargas, who, I mean, man's been there side by side. Yeah. And I got to say, EWA. But this is why you've got to go hit that sub button for the EWA. You've got to go follow. And I want to repeat here one more time before Maxed Out. The Badass Bert Huffman is live Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on all Sportzwire radio platforms. You never know who will show up. This is one of those moments. You know, when you look back in time, people talk about Lex Luger showing up on Nitro. Torrance Banks showing up here, unannounced. Unwanted, some would even say. But he showed up here right now to announce that he's wrestling in the EWA. And he's wrestling, and he's here to stay. And he's here, and he's addressing some of the biggest who have ever stepped foot in an EWA or ring, period. You just never know who's going to show up in the EWA. You just never know. And obviously, we're going to certainly get to more. I can't wait to see what the future brings. And fellas, obviously, this was a lot of fun. And anything else you want to say, Hubie, before we sign off?
Okay, I promised you something new, and here we go.
I want to hear.
I finally filed all the paperwork with the great state of Ohio, and EWA is an official business. It's not a hobby. It's not recreation. It is a business that's recognized by our government and the state of Ohio.
Wow.
Well, I got to say congratulations.
Yeah, big congratulations, Hubie. Big congratulations.
Wow, Hubie. I mean,
for sure.
Congratulations. You guys are official. It's official. The EWA is here to stay. You may call Cron corn, but to borrow a corn song, you are here to stay. And you are untouchable now.
Yep, I just wanted to mention that here at the end of the show.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations. Awesome. Wow. And that's a great moment. And, thank you for that, Hubie. Thank you for all that you do. And obviously, shout out to Killshot as well. Killshot had plenty to say. I'm sure we'll hear more of Mr. Bang Bang on Saturday. And congratulations. And we wanted to bring Mr. Robert Scott back on because he heard apparently Torrance Banks mention his name. And he decided he wanted to get some, but we'll have to find out. And, please. Yeah.
Nah.
Well, nah. Well, you did. No, you did. Well, you know what? Nevertheless, if you are here, hit the sub button for the EWA. Check them out on YouTube. Hit the sub button for them. And we will be back here Saturday night with everybody. Congratulations. And I do want to, because you guys are here, I'll make the announcement. And don't get your heart pressure, your blood up too much. But tomorrow night, we will have on legendary rock goddess, Miss Lorraine Lewis on here. Yeah, definitely don't get any ideas. You can see some of her stuff. Yes, she's here. She's a singer. She has a lot of followers. We'll talk about OnlyFans But she has more than OnlyFans, and hopefully you'll be fans of mine and check out her interview tomorrow night with me and her. But yeah, that's a little snippet of what's to come tomorrow. But Saturday, the badass Bert Huffman is here, and I'm sure Torrance Banks will be on here after what's ahead after Maxed Out, because we've maxed out plenty of coverage here. But thank you, Miss Lorraine, and thank you, fellas. It is EWA Day. You played a role in that kill shot as well. And thank you, fellas, and can't wait to see everybody Saturday and talk more about the fallout of Maxed Out and get everybody ready for season 19 soon. Okay, thank you, Hubie. Right. Okay, Hubie had enough tuna dogs. Thank you, everybody, and support Revolution Pizza. That is the two-time EWA heavyweight champion from the Cleveland Wrecking Crew, Mr. Robert Scott. That is Hubie Jenkins, the high authority of the EWA and the newest member of the EWA roster, the big dog, Torrance Banks.
15-time champion.
15 times, thank you. And Torrance Banks has also been a champion about that many times. But nevertheless, he'll be here, and he'll be in the ring coming up this Sunday. And Killshot was also here. Thank you, everybody. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio, see you tomorrow with Lorraine Lewis. Have a great night, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one, Global Relations is Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. Thanks.